So I feel like this rumor has been going around for quite some time now, but for those of you who didn't see this, there is a big report going around right now that is suggesting by IGN that Insomniac is currently working on another AAA game besides Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine, which we already know Wolverine is in production, and we know, of course, Spider-Man 2 is just about to drop on October 30th. Now, this has led a lot of people to kind of question, well, what is actually currently being in development for this? I think, you know, Insomniac Studios, and there's definitely a lot of things that they could be working on. Again, DLC is a big question mark right now. I feel like a lot of us expect there to be DLC for this new Marvel Spider-Man 2 game, especially considering there was DLC for the last one. But we also got to remember that their whole entire plans kind of changed for the last game. And for those of you who don't know what I mean, is the city that never sleeps, yes, that was always going to be the DLC pack. It was revealed later on that the whole, first premise of the Miles Morales video game was supposed to be the other DLC they were going to release for the game. Of course, it got much bigger. PlayStation wanted something to roll around with their PS5 console, and they ended up, again, turning it from a 3-hour DLC or so to a pretty big, I think it's around an 8-hour to 9-hour story game with a lot of new, I think, you know, things that Miles Morales can do that Peter Parker couldn't do in the first game. And of course, a different setting to New York and all of the above. Again, it kind of went from a DLC to a much smaller game than Marvel Spider-Man, but I think a game that everyone was still very happy that was released. So I think with this Marvel Spider-Man 2 game, it's not guaranteed that we're actually going to be getting DLC, because what they might be thinking is DLC is cool and all, but fans might rather just spend, again, double the money, but get a way bigger product in terms of a smaller type of spin-off game like what Miles Morales was. And that's actually what I think they might be doing here. I think the Wolverine game is going to be a big game, very similar to how, of course, Marvel Spider-Man is. But I think in terms of another AAA, smaller type of AAA project like Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, we could very well be getting another one of them, except in a form of a different character. And I think this character, it's been rumored a lot, and you guys probably know who I'm about to talk about judging from the title, but there are a lot of people already talking right now that this game might actually be a Venom game, which I think would make so much sense for, you know, for Sony and for Marvel and Insomniac Studios and whatnot. Venom is a character who arguably now it has a more famous name than what potentially Wolverine does, which if you said that in the 2000s, you would probably get stabbed. But in 2023, that definitely has a lot of merit to that claim. And I think with how the engine is already built with this Spider-Man game and whatnot, I think it would be relatively easy to get a Venom game going. And I think with how Harry Osborn is probably going to be Venom, could they center a game around him? Or could the game be about maybe at the end of this Marvel Spider-Man 2 game, Harry Osborn, of course, loses the symbiote, and maybe it goes to another host. Maybe the game is about the Venom symbiote now being on another host, which could be introducing us to, Eddie Brock, right? Again, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales was somewhat of an origin story to well, it was an origin story to Miles Morales, but we already knew of Miles Morales. He was obviously very introduced and whatnot. And I just wonder, in this game, what if, you know, in the next Marvel Spider-Man game, Eddie Brock is slightly introduced, and then the game is really about his origin story. So I think this is really interesting. Again, a lot of people are saying, well, how do Insomniac have the time to do all of this? And I think it's quite simple. We have to remember that even though the Spider-Man games are very big games, they still don't take the 7 years or so to make of what, you know, a Fallout would, as what a GTA would, as what a Red Dead Redemption would. Not just that, now that they've got they pretty much got Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Queens literally all complete, the whole entire foundation of the map is there. The whole entire foundation of how most of the characters look is all there. The voice actors are all there. To them, making a game is so much more simple. And not just that, but the story, let's just say this Venom game was to be made, the story would probably be similar to Miles Morales, where it's like only a 10-hour story or so, which is much different to Red Dead Redemption 2, which legitimately had a story of about 120 hours, right? It's very, very different. That's why it takes them, you know, only like 2 years to make these games or whatever, while it takes Rockstar around 7 to 10 at this rate, Bethesda around 7 years. So, again, I do think making a Venom game would be somewhat pretty simple. Again, him going around the city would obviously have to be a lot more clunky considering he's so much bigger. I mean, it would just be overpowered as if you could swing through the city as Venom and you're going at the speeds of Spider-Man, stuff like that. So maybe some of the game mechanics and whatnot would have to be changed. But with how the rumors are saying right now that Wolverine is already halfway nearly there, I wouldn't be surprised if Insomniac just maybe didn't even do DLC for this Marvel Spider-Man 2, or did small DLC and then hit us with a Venom, spin-off game, very similar to how the Miles Morales spin-off game was. Again, they could do that, or maybe a Miles Morales 2. Again, I don't necessarily think Miles Morales has a whole lot of range to maybe get a sequel. I think it's cool how his character is now one of the main characters in the standalone games with Peter Parker. I think that's probably how it should be maybe left for the future, but hey, I'd be happy with the Miles Morales 2 as well. But again, Venom getting his own video game, like the rumors of some people are suggesting, would be awesome. And we know that they're making a new game as well, pretty much, alongside Wolverine and now Spider-Man 2. So, of course, this would make a lot of sense in my opinion. But, of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below about a potential Venom game. Would you guys like it or would you guys not? Don't forget to subscribe to my sports channel and my IRL/vlogging channels. Links for them will be in the description down below. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.